Retention. Ability to keep or continue having something. Upholding. Remembering. Recalling. Reading books can improve your retention of new vocabulary words. Taking notes by hand has the advantage of improving memory retention. Revising lessons is one of the best ways to increase your retention of knowledge. Numeracy. Ability to do basic mathematics. Calculation. Computation. Reckoning. Developing numeracy skills can improve overall mathematical proficiency. Developing numeracy skills can lead to better budgeting and financial planning. Elementary education focuses on developing basic literacy and numeracy skills. Decoding. Converting from code into plain text. Grasping. Deciphering. Perceiving. The teacher emphasized the importance of decoding in early education. The computer program is capable of decoding multiple languages in real time. Decoding ancient manuscripts has become a vital part of scientific research. Analogy. A comparison between things that have similar features. Similarity. Likeness. Resemblance. The teacher used a literary analogy to analogize the themes in the novel. The student used a wave analogy to explain the concept of cultural diffusion. An analogy is like a secret code that helps us understand things in a fun way. Inference. The conclusion reached on the basis of evidence. Deduction. Assumption. Presumption. It is important to make an inference before drawing any conclusions. Logic helps in understanding the principles of inference and deduction. The process of inductive inference can lead to new discoveries and insights. Dissertation. A long essay on a particular subject. Discourse. Thesis. Composition. A dissertation is a chance to contribute new knowledge to a field of study. Writing a dissertation can take several months or even years to complete. Make sure to plan ahead for your thesis or dissertation to avoid any delays. Simulation. Making something seem like another thing. Imitation. Duplication. Reproduction. The student's theory was corroborated by the results of the simulation. The medical students used a simulation to practice diagnosing a patient. The computer simulation accurately predicted the outcome of the experiment. Hands-on. Actually doing something rather than learning. Interactive. Practical. Proactive. Ideas are presented as tangible and corporeal in the form of hands-on exhibits. It is considered that hands-on experience is as useful as academic qualifications. 90% of primary pupils now have hands-on experience with computers. Assimilation. Process of taking in ideas or information. Adaptation. Incorporation. Integration. A good many of these assimilations will be matters for discussion and agreement. The first period of the English Renaissance was one of imitation and assimilation. Children in school are generally expected to assimilate what they have been taught. Reasoning. The act or process of drawing conclusions from facts. Thinking. Premise. Rationality. She's absolutely determined to go, and there's just no reasoning with her. His argument does not rest on reasoning or on experiment, but on authority. Being able to properly analyze data is the most important aspect of reasoning. Cognitive development. How a person perceives or thinks. Awareness. Keenness. Intelligence. Action is one of several interacting determinants of cognitive development. Nutrition during the formative years of a child is vital for cognitive development. There is a link between structural brain development and cognitive development. Curriculum. Subjects offered by an educational institution. Modules. Program. Prospectus. Russian is the one compulsory foreign language in the school curriculum. His disability does not prevent him from following the mainstream curriculum. Formulating curriculums that will enable students to obtain a variety of certification. Pedagogy. The method and practice of teaching. Schooling. Tutoring. Coaching. The book discussed the history of pedagogy in early childhood education. The teacher's pedagogy promoted student autonomy and self-directed learning. The research explored the benefits of experimental pedagogy in outdoor education. Brainstorming. Problem-solving method that involves idea generation. Pondering. Problem-solving. Determining. We need to do some brainstorming before we get down to detailed planning. It is suggested that in a brainstorming session, every idea is worth writing down. Brainstorming on creative tasks has been a major activity in the advertising sector. Monitoring. Carefully watch and check a situation. Nursing. Surveillance. Watchfulness. It's important to track by setting goals and monitoring your progress. Process control involves monitoring and adjusting inputs and outputs. It's never too late to start monitoring time and improving your habits. Evaluation. Act of forming an opinion of the amount, value, or quality. Assessment. Judgment. Estimation. We thank our peer reviewers for their critical evaluation of the article. Evaluation is standard practice for all training arranged through the school. For the most accurate evaluation, you should contact a professional advisor. Collaboration. Working together to solve a problem. Association. Cooperation. Teamwork. This arose as a result of close collaboration between the two universities. This teaching method includes instruction, collaboration, and group activities. His literary abilities were shown at an early age by his collaboration with his brother. Cybernetics. Controlling systems in humans and machines. Computing. Automation. Robotics. The cybernetic network allows for seamless communication between devices. The cybernetic organism was designed to mimic human behavior and emotions. A cybernetic system enables our thought impulses to be converted into actions. Reinforcement. Provide more strength or support. Support. Assistance. Backing. The teacher called in reinforcements to assist with a challenging lesson. Positive reinforcement can go a long way toward correcting a problem. Parenting magazines and books are full of advice on positive reinforcement. Plagiarism. Practice copying someone else's work. Copying. Stealing. Infringement. The more you give credit, the less you risk accusations of plagiarism. The university decided to fire a professor for committing plagiarism. The techniques for detecting plagiarism are becoming increasingly advanced. Alignment. A position of agreement or alliance. Arrangement. Sequence. Positioning. Task alignment is easiest in small units, where goals and tasks are clearly defined. There should be an alignment between teachers and learners in the classrooms. The curriculum needs to be in alignment with the syllabus before you start work on it. Benchmark. Evaluate by comparison with a standard. Standard. Baseline. Evaluation. Researchers used a positive control to establish a benchmark for success. The benchmark analysis helps us identify areas of competitive advantage. Benchmarking allows teachers to identify students' strengths and weaknesses. Quotation. The exact words of someone else. Reference. Citation. Clipping. At the beginning of the book, there's a quotation from Abraham Lincoln. The author illustrates his point with quotations from historical sources. She relied heavily on quotations in her essays, which made them less original. Supervising. Inspect the work of other persons. Nurturing. Caring. Maintaining. The teacher was reprimanded for negligence in supervising the students. The parent should exercise reasonable care when supervising their children. Not properly supervising children can incur liability for accidents and injuries. Rote learning. Memorization technique based on repetition. Learning by memorization. Learning by repetition. Science courses usually have fewer experiments and more rote learning. Rote learning is often used in medical education to memorize anatomical terms. In many countries, the teaching style does not rely on repetition and rote learning. Mentor. A person who supports people with knowledge and skills. Instructor. Consultant. Coach. The mentor should foster a relationship that is conducive to learning. In addition to learning crafts, he also learns spiritual lessons from his mentor. Mentoring and networking opportunities for students are now moving online. Apprenticeship. A work-based learning model. Training. Trial period. Test period. After serving his apprenticeship as a toolmaker, he became an engineer. The apprenticeship allowed him to work alongside experienced professionals. The apprenticeship program prepares individuals for long-term career success. Bilingual education. Fluency and literacy in 2 languages. Multilingual education. Dual education. Bilingual education must be focused on from an early age of children. A wide variety of word combinations are found in a bilingual dictionary. In a country rich with diversity, bilingual education is a reality and a necessity. Shadowing. The act of following someone closely. tracking, lookout, inspection. The first phase of the internship involved shadowing a senior member. The student was shadowing a teacher to observe different teaching methods. Shadowing native speakers is crucial to get hands-on language learning experience.